Ladies and gentlemen, I want to begin by sharing a truth that could set you free from years of frustration. One of the greatest tragedies in life is when you spend your time, energy, and talents comparing yourself to others, measuring your progress by their accomplishments. You were not designed to imitate someone else. You were designed to fulfill your unique purpose. Let me share something with you that is profound, yet simple. Comparison is the enemy of progress. If you want to live a life of significance and fulfillment, you must learn to eliminate comparison from your mind. We live in a world today where people measure their worth by looking at others. Social media has become a showcase of highlight reels, where we see people's successes, their possessions, their talents, and their relationships, and we say to ourselves, why not me? But I need you to hear this truth: comparison is a thief. It robs you of your peace, your joy, and your focus. You see, when you look at someone else's life and try to measure your own progress by their achievements, you have already made a mistake. You have placed yourself in a race you were never meant to run. Let me explain what I mean. Imagine two runners on a track. One is focused straight ahead on their own lane. Their eyes are fixed on the finish line, their breathing is steady, and their steps are strong. But the other runner keeps looking to the side, distracted by what the first runner is doing. What happens to the distracted runner? They stumble. They slow down. They lose momentum. Why? Because they are not focused on their own race. This is exactly what happens in life when you compare yourself to others. You lose your momentum, you begin to stumble, you get frustrated because you are trying to measure your journey by someone else's timeline. But here's the truth: you are not running their race. Your life has a unique path, a unique purpose, and a unique assignment. The moment you start looking at someone else's success and wondering why you are not there yet, you lose sight of your own finish line. Let me tell you why this is so dangerous. When you compare yourself to others, two things happen. First, you become envious of people who seem to be ahead of you. You begin to resent their success because it feels like it diminishes your own progress. You start asking questions like, why are they succeeding while I am struggling? Or why do they have more talent, more opportunities, or more resources? But listen to me carefully: their success has nothing to do with your purpose. You are not in competition with anyone but yourself. Comparison can lead you to pride when you think you are ahead of others. You begin to look down on people who are not where you are, and you become complacent. You stop pushing yourself to grow because you are satisfied with being better than someone else. But life is not about being ahead of others, it's about being the best version of who you were created to be. Pride will blind you to your own potential, just as envy will keep you stuck in frustration. Both are enemies of progress. You must understand this: comparison is an illusion. You don't know what someone else had to go through to get where they are. You don't see their struggles, their pain, or their sacrifices. All you see is the result. And what you are comparing is often not their life, but your perception of their life. It's like comparing the roots of your tree to the fruit on someone else's tree. You don't see the hard work they put into growing those roots. When you compare yourself to others, you are essentially saying that you don't trust the process that has been designed for your life. You are telling yourself that your timing is wrong, that your path is, and that you are not enough. But let me remind you of something powerful: you are exactly where you need to be. You may not be where you want to be, but you are not where you used to be. Stop undermining your progress by comparing it to someone else's success. If you focus on your own growth, you will begin to see how far you can go. Let me tell you something: no one else has your exact combination of gifts, experiences, and talents. You are uniquely equipped for the life you are called to live. When you compare yourself to someone else, you are dishonoring the uniqueness that has been placed inside of you. You are telling yourself that your purpose is not valuable enough. Here's the truth: comparison keeps you in a mindset of scarcity. It makes you think that success is limited, that if someone else is winning, it means you are losing. But life is not a zero-sum game. Someone else's success does not mean there is less for you. The only thing holding you back is your focus. If you stop looking at what others are doing and start investing in your own growth, you will discover that you have more potential than you ever realized. Let me ask you a question: how much time have you wasted looking at someone else's life, wishing you had what they had? How many hours have you spent scrolling through your phone, comparing your journey to theirs? What could you have accomplished if you had taken that time and energy and invested it into your own goals, your own dreams, and your own development? My friend, you cannot win a race you are not meant to run. Your job is not to imitate someone else. Your job is to become the best version of yourself. Stop looking at others. Stop measuring yourself by their standards. Stop allowing their timeline to dictate your progress. You are not behind. You are not ahead. You are exactly where you need to be for your journey. When you eliminate comparison, you set yourself free. Free to grow. Free to become. Free to fulfill your purpose. So focus on your race. Keep your eyes on your lane. And remember this, the only person you are competing with is the person you were yesterday. When you understand this truth, you will find peace, you will find focus, and you will find the power to progress toward the life you were created to live. You were created with a unique assignment, and there is something about that truth that should ignite confidence in your soul. You were not born by accident, nor were you placed here to simply exist. You were designed with intention, with purpose, and with a specific contribution that only you can make to this world. Think about this for a moment. If you were unnecessary, you wouldn't be here. Every breath you take is a reminder that your purpose is still unfolding. But here's the challenge. Most people miss their assignment because they are too busy trying to live someone else's life. They abandon their calling because they are so captivated by what someone else is doing. It's as if a painter stops creating their masterpiece because they are too busy admiring another artist's work. Instead of fulfilling what was placed inside of them, they become distracted and discontent. And let me tell you, distraction is one of the greatest enemies of purpose. You were not designed to imitate anyone else. I want you to hear that clearly. Imitation is the death of originality. The moment you try to be someone else, you lose the power of your uniqueness. Imagine an eagle watching a hummingbird and thinking, I wish I could flap my wings that fast. Or a lion looking at a cheetah and saying, if only I could run that fast, I would be greater. But the eagle was not made to flap its wings like a hummingbird. It was made to soar at heights no other bird can reach. The lion was not created to sprint like a cheetah. It was given strength, power, and authority to rule as the king of the jungle. The very thing that makes them different is what gives them their strength. And so it is with you. The key to unlocking your potential lies in embracing the qualities that make you different. Your uniqueness is not something to hide, it is something to celebrate. It is the very fingerprint of your assignment. Let me ask you this, have you ever seen two people with the same fingerprint? Of course not. That's because no two people were created to fulfill the same role. Even if you share the same talents or work in the same field as someone else, your expression of that gift is still unique. You may be a writer, a speaker, an artist, an engineer, or a teacher, but how you fulfill your role will always be different because you are different. The danger we face is that we often don't value what we have because it looks ordinary to us. You might say, I don't have any special gifts, I'm not talented, I don't have what it takes, but that's a lie. Everything you need to fulfill your assignment has already been placed inside of you. Your job is to discover it, to develop it, and to deliver it to the world. You may not see the significance of your gift because it comes so naturally to you. But what is natural to you is a solution for someone else. Consider this: a tree does not eat its own fruit. The fruit it produces is for the benefit of others. In the same way, your gift, your talent, your vision, your skill is not for you alone, it is for the world. That is why it is dangerous to hide it or to compare it to someone else's. Imagine an apple tree saying, I wish I produced mangoes like that tree over there. What would happen? It would stop producing apples. It would neglect its own purpose while wishing for something it was never meant to have. This is what happens to so many of us when we undervalue what we carry. Instead of focusing on developing the gifts we have, we waste time wishing for what someone else has. But listen to me, you don't need to be someone else to succeed. You just need to be fully yourself. When you embrace your assignment, when you commit to your growth and your uniqueness, you activate the potential that has been lying dormant inside of you. The world needs what you have. There is someone out there waiting for your gift, someone whose life will be impacted because you chose to be yourself. Think about that. When you don't step into your assignment, when you don't embrace your uniqueness, you are not just robbing yourself, you are robbing the world of the value you were designed to bring. There are people who will never step into their own calling until they see you step into yours. You see, purpose is contagious. When you live in your assignment, you inspire others to discover their own. When you fulfill your role, you give permission to those around you to rise higher. It's like a domino effect. Your obedience to your calling sets off a chain reaction that empowers others to walk in their greatness. But none of this can happen until you recognize that your assignment is unique. No one else can fulfill it for you. No one else can replace you. You are not an accident. You were created on purpose for a purpose, and with purpose, and with purpose. Your job is not to imitate others, but to discover what has been placed inside of you. Care what you've been told. I don't care what people think of you or how they have labeled you. The opinions of others do not define you. Your worth is not based on their approval. You are valuable because you were created with intention. So I challenge you today, stop looking at others and start focusing on what has been placed in your hands. Ask yourself, what is my gift? What is my role? What am I called to do? And when you find the answer, pour your heart into it. Develop it. Refine it. Master it. Because when you do, you will walk in the fullness of your assignment, and the world will take notice. Remember this, you were created with a purpose that only you can fulfill. Never forget that. One of the greatest distractions that we face today is the pursuit of approval from others. It is something that is deeply ingrained in us, often from a young age. We are taught to seek validation, to look for acknowledgement, and to shape our lives according to the expectations of others. But here's the reality: the moment you start living for the approval of others, you abandon the most important thing, your personal growth. We live in a world where success is often measured by how many people acknowledge us, how many likes we get, how many followers we have, or how much praise we receive. But if you live your life seeking the approval of others, you will be forever chasing a moving target. There will always be someone else to impress, another standard to meet, and another opinion to satisfy. And in that pursuit, you lose sight of what truly matters: your growth, your purpose, and your authentic self. When you focus on growth, you are not concerned with what others think of you. Your primary focus becomes improving yourself and aligning with the purpose you were created for. Growth is a personal journey. It's a daily commitment to becoming better than you were yesterday. Growth is about developing your character, expanding your mind, and cultivating the habits that will lead you to the life you desire. And none of that can happen if you are constantly looking to others for validation. It's important to understand that growth does not happen through the applause of others. It happens in the quiet moments when no one is watching, when you are doing the hard work of building discipline, learning, and improving. Growth is about making decisions that are aligned with your vision. Even when no one else understands or agrees, it's about choosing to do what's right, not what's popular. And most importantly, it's about moving forward regardless of the opinions of others. The truth is, when you seek approval, you're giving someone else the power to determine your worth. Your value becomes conditional on their opinion of you. But when you focus on your growth, your value is rooted in the understanding that you are already enough. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Your worth comes from within. It comes from knowing that you are living in alignment with your purpose and that you are becoming the best version of yourself. This shift in focus from approval to growth requires a transformation in mindset. You must stop asking, "What do they think of me?" and start asking, "What can I do to improve myself today?" The moment you let go of the need for external validation, you free yourself from the chains of comparison, judgment, and insecurity. You no longer feel compelled to measure your success against others. Instead, you measure your success by how much you've grown, how much you've learned, and how much closer you are to your true potential. When you focus on your growth, you stop seeking validation from people who may not even understand your journey. You stop living for the applause and start living for the impact you know you can make. You begin to realize that the only person you need to impress is yourself. Your goal is not to meet someone else's standard, but to exceed your own. When you wake up every day with the desire to grow, to improve, and to become better than you were yesterday, you start to create a life that reflects your true potential. Let me ask you this: how much time have you wasted looking for validation? How many opportunities have you missed because you were afraid of what others would think? How many decisions have you made based on what someone else expected of you, rather than what was in alignment with your own growth and vision? The truth is, seeking approval may give you temporary satisfaction, but it will never lead to lasting fulfillment. When you focus on growth, you give yourself the freedom to fail, the freedom to make mistakes, and the freedom to learn from them. You understand that failure is not the end but a necessary step on the path to success. Every mistake you make is an opportunity to grow, to adjust, and to come back stronger. And as you continue to grow, you will find that you begin to attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances that are in alignment with your purpose. Growth is a process. It's not something that happens overnight, and it's not something that happens without effort. But when you focus on your growth, the effort becomes worth it because you are not seeking external validation, you are seeking internal fulfillment. You are learning, improving, and evolving into the person you were always meant to be. And in the end, that's the only kind of approval that truly matters. You don't need anyone's approval to be great. Your greatness is already inside of you. The only thing standing between you and your potential is your willingness to focus on your own growth, to stop seeking validation from others, and to commit to becoming the best version of yourself. And when you do that, the world will take notice. You will attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the success that aligns with your true purpose. But remember this, none of that will happen until you make the decision to stop living for the approval of others and start living for your own growth. So ask yourself today, what are you doing to grow? What steps are you taking to improve yourself? Are you measuring your success by the opinions of others, or are you measuring it by how much you've developed, how much you've learned, and how much closer you've come to becoming the person you were meant to be? Focus on growth, not approval, and watch how your life transforms. You are a work in progress, and understanding this truth is one of the most liberating realizations you can have in life. It frees you from the pressures of perfection, from the unrealistic expectations that society or even you might place on yourself. Far too often we become discouraged when we are not where we think we should be, or when we are not seeing the results we expect as quickly as we want. But I want you to understand something: progress is a journey, not a destination. Life is not a sprint, it is a marathon, and you must embrace the process if you are going to experience the fullness of your potential. The mistake most people make is thinking that success happens overnight. They see the finish line, but they don't appreciate the steps, the struggles, and the growth that are necessary to reach it. Every successful person you admire has been through a process that often involves failure, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But these moments don't define them. What defines them is their commitment to the process. They understood that greatness is not achieved in one grand leap, but in countless small, consistent steps. Your life is no different. You are not meant to reach the peak of your potential in a single moment. It is a gradual ascent, with many stages of growth and development along the way. Every experience you go through, every challenge you face, and every failure you encounter is part of the process that molds you into the person you are becoming. There is no shame in being in the process. It's the only way to get to where you are going. One of the most powerful things you can do for yourself is to embrace where you are right now in your journey. You might not have the things you desire yet. You might not have the success that you dreamed of. But you are moving forward. You are growing, even if it doesn't feel like it. Every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. Every challenge you overcome is a victory. And every moment of doubt is an opportunity to strengthen your resolve. Far too many people give up on their dreams simply because they don't see immediate results. They expect their journey to be smooth, with no obstacles or setbacks. And when the going gets tough, they question whether they are on the right path. But the road to success is rarely straight, and it's almost never easy. It's filled with detours, bumps, and sometimes even dead ends. But that's where growth happens. That's where you discover what you are truly made of. You must stop being so hard on yourself for not being where you want to be. If you are truly committed to your growth, if you are truly committed to your purpose, then you will understand that where you are today is not where you will be tomorrow. Your progress might be slow, but it is still progress. And if you commit to the journey, you will find that over time, you will look back and see just how far you've come. The key is consistency. Progress is not about making huge leaps every day. It's about showing up, day after day, even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the work when no one is watching, when there's no immediate reward. The people who achieve greatness are the ones who commit to consistent growth, who continue to take action even when they don't see immediate results. They know that success is the result of countless hours of effort, learning, and perseverance. Understand this: you are not where you are by mistake. Everything you've been through, every challenge you've faced has been a part of your preparation. The setbacks, the struggles, the moments of doubt, they have all been shaping you, molding you, and strengthening you for what's to come. If you can learn to embrace these moments as part of your process, you will begin to see them not as obstacles but as opportunities for growth. No one reaches their full potential without going through the fire. It's the trials that refine you, the failures that teach you, and the struggles that build your character. If you are always looking for an easy way out, you will miss the valuable lessons that are only learned through the process. Remember, diamonds are created under pressure. Without the heat, the pressure, and the time, they would remain as coal. As you move forward, remind yourself that you are a work in progress. There is no shame in not having it all figured out yet. There is no shame in not being where you want to be. The important thing is that you are on the journey, that you are continuing to move forward, and that you are committed to becoming the person you were always meant to be. Take a moment to look back at how far you've come. Think about the things you've learned, the skills you've developed, and the resilience you've built. When you do this, you'll realize that you have already made tremendous progress, even if it doesn't always feel that way. And as you continue to move forward, keep in mind that every step you take is a part of the process that will eventually lead you to the person you are meant to become. So, don't rush the process. Don't be discouraged by where you are today. Embrace your progress, no matter how small it seems. Celebrate every victory, every lesson learned, and every step taken, because the person you are becoming is worth every moment of the journey. Your growth is happening, even when you can't see it. Stay faithful to the process, and trust that every step, no matter how challenging, is leading you closer to your greatest self. Too many people spend their lives looking back at what they could have done, what they should have done, and the mistakes they've made. They waste precious time dwelling on past failures, regrets, and missed opportunities. They allow the shadows of the past to cloud their vision for the future, and as a result, they become paralyzed, unable to take the necessary steps toward the life they desire. But here's the reality: your past is just that, the past. It is behind you, and it no longer has the power to define you unless you allow it to. You can't change the past, but you can change your future, and it all begins with your mindset. The first thing you need to understand is that mistakes, failures, and setbacks are not the end of your story. They are merely chapters in your journey, and each one offers you a lesson that can propel you forward. The key is not to allow those past experiences to dictate who you are today or where you are going. Every day is an opportunity to begin anew. When you focus on the present moment, when you learn to look ahead instead of constantly looking back, you free yourself from the weight of regret. It's easy to become trapped in the what ifs. What if I had made a different choice? What if I hadn't failed? What if I had been braver, more confident, more prepared? These questions can eat away at you and keep you stuck in a cycle of self-blame and frustration. But what good does it do to dwell on things you cannot change? It doesn't help you grow. It doesn't move you forward. All it does is keep you bound to a past that no longer serves you. The truth is, failure is not something to be afraid of. It is part of the process of growth. Every successful person you admire has failed at some point. What makes them different is that they didn't let failure stop them. They used it as fuel to propel them forward. They understood that mistakes are simply opportunities for growth, and each failure brings with it the chance to learn, adjust, and try again. But in order to move forward, you must make a decision. You must decide to release the grip that the past has on you. You must choose to forgive yourself for the mistakes you've made, learn from them, and then let them go. Holding on to past failures only keeps you stuck in a place of regret and self-doubt. It prevents you from seeing the opportunities that are in front of you. I know it's not easy. I know that the pain of past mistakes can be difficult to shake off. But the only way to move forward is to focus on what's ahead of you, not behind you. Your future is waiting for you to step into it. The dreams, the opportunities, the success, they are all in front of you, not behind you. When you start looking forward, you begin to open yourself up to new possibilities. You start to see that there is still time to create the life you want. It's never too late to pursue your dreams. It's never too late to change direction, to pick up the pieces, and to start again. The future is not defined by your past mistakes. It is defined by the decisions you make today. One of the most powerful things you can do for yourself is to stop comparing your journey to others. Everyone has their own path, and everyone has their own set of challenges and setbacks. What might have worked for someone else may not work for you. And that's okay. You don't have to follow someone else's blueprint for success. Your journey is yours alone, and it will unfold in its own time. So stop waiting for the perfect moment to start. Stop waiting for the past to be erased before you begin to move forward. The perfect time is now. The only thing standing between you and your future is the decision to take action, the decision to forgive yourself, and the decision to focus on the opportunities that lie ahead. Your past does not determine your future unless you allow it to. The future is full of limitless possibilities, but you have to be willing to step into it. You have to be willing to release the past and embrace the present. This is your time. Don't let the past hold you back from stepping into the greatness that is waiting for you. Remember, you have everything you need to succeed already inside of you. The lessons of the past, the experiences you've had, the skills you've developed, they are all part of the foundation for your future success. You don't need to keep looking over your shoulder. Your greatest days are ahead of you, not behind you. The key to unlocking your potential is to let go of the past, forgive yourself, and focus on what you can do today to move forward. When you do this, you'll begin to see that the past no longer has power over you. You will start to experience freedom. And that freedom will give you the strength to take bold steps into the future. The future is yours, but you must decide to let go of the past and walk forward into the life you deserve. There is nothing holding you back, except for your own decision to move forward. The moment you make that decision, everything changes. The future is yours for the taking. In conclusion, the journey to becoming the best version of yourself is not one of perfection, but of progress. It requires you to focus on your own growth, embrace your unique assignment, and stay committed to the process, even when it feels difficult or uncertain. Stop looking to others for validation or comparing your journey to theirs. Understand that your past does not define your future, and that every setback, failure, and challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. You are not meant to imitate anyone else. You are meant to discover and fulfill the purpose that is uniquely yours. The road ahead may not always be easy, but it is filled with endless possibilities. When you focus on the present, forgive yourself for past mistakes, and remain dedicated to your personal growth, you unlock your true potential. You don't need anyone's approval to step into greatness, because greatness is already within you. So commit to yourself today. Embrace the process. Be patient with your growth. Celebrate every step forward, no matter how small it seems. And remember, your life is your masterpiece, one that you are constantly creating with every thought, action, and decision you make. The future is bright, and it is waiting for you to step into it with courage, confidence, and unwavering focus. Now is your time, and the world is ready for what you have to offer.